term. How many years have you served as a judge?
I've been a Supreme Court judge for 14 years, and before that I was a district court judge for 2 years. So I'm 16 years a judge, beginning my second term, hopefully after November.
Well, we wish you congratulations with that.
Thank you, but I first have to get re-elected. So.
I'm sure you'll do fine with that one.
I'm going to try, thank you.
Well, excuse me. Now, as a judge, you are serving a 14-year term. You do know we have a holiday season coming up.
Yes, and in fact I wanted to take this opportunity of wishing your family and all of the viewers from my family a happy Diwali.
Thank you so much. And as a judge, you serve 14 years term.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know there's also, we'll get into the details of it later,
yes.
There's also a coincidence that in Diwali, the whole celebration came about where
Lord Rama was in the jungle for 14 years.
So you've served your term, and so has he.
And he was let out, but I want to stay.
Well, I'm glad you're making that decision for all of us.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, मैं तानू सारियां नू दसना चाहांगी कि जज जी तेरी टर्म होंदी हैगी इन्हां दे जिहड़े टाइम इन्हां ने सर्व करना होंदा हैगा एक इलेक्शन दा टाइम होंदा है 14 साल एंड इट्स अ कोइंसिडेंस कि ऑफ कोर्स दिवाली दा टाइम हैगा नाले लॉर्ड कृष्णा ने राम ने ऑफ कोर्स लॉर्ड राम ने 14 साल वनवास विच कटे सी पर उन्हां दा कहना हैगा कि राम ने ते कट के अपना टाइम पूरा कर लिता सी मैं इत्थे ही हां और अगे 14 साल वास्ते भी इत्थे ही रहना चाहांगा. Well, also, now tell us, Judge, as you're being represented currently by a Democratic Party, a Republican Party, you're endorsed by all the parties out there.
That's correct.
Okay.
Correct. When I ran 14 years ago, 15 years ago, to serve the 14, I was nominated by the Republican and Conservative Party.
Okay.
But as you know, there really should not be a Republican judge or a Democrat judge.
Absolutely.
You try to be a good judge for everybody.
Exactly.
And when I ran this year, the Democrat Party in Nassau and Suffolk County offered me their nomination,
Wow.
which I take as a very, very important, and it's a way of saying, I think I've accomplished what I've tried to do, which is to be always neutral with the cases in front of me and not be pro any. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Now, is it? Well, let me let our viewers know कि इन्हां हुने चिड़ी इन्हां ने चिड़ी term run कर रहे हैं कि अगे दी term वास्ते अगले 14 साल वास्ते इन्हां usually एक party तो endorsement आंदी हैगी या Republican Party तो endorse कर दी हैगी या Democratic Party तो endorse कर दी पर Judge Bucaria दा track record इन्ना अच्छा रहा है इन्हां ने decisions बिना कोई party ते लीन करन दी वजह ना किसी पार्टी ते लीन नहीं करते बजाय उन्होंने अपने काम अंदर ध्यान रख के उन्होंने इस तरह डिसीजन लितियां हैगियां कि दोनों पार्टीज़ नूं लगता हैगा कि इन्होंने फेयर और जस्ट काम किया हैगा जिस दे नाल इन्हां नूं दोनों पार्टियां दी एंडोर्समेंट हैगियां विच इज़ अ वेरी बिग थिंग क्योंकि यूजली तुहानूं हमेशा एंडोर्समेंट एक पार्टी तो आती है तो इसका ऑफ कोर्स इस नाल आपां नूं पता चलता है कि इन्होंने जिहड़ा काम किया हैगा कम्यूनिटी वास्ते he's done it the right way and of course he's been fair to all parties around him. Now, Judge Bucaria, also, when you're being endorsed for this, is it necessary that you should be endorsed only by one party? Or is it, of course, after being a judge, after you're there, you can't say that I was from the Republican side, so I have to favor them, or I'm from the Democrats, so I have to favor them. You have to do what's right and wrong.
All judges, I think, try to be fair and to go right down the center.
Okay.
But you are what your background is.
Absolutely.
And but your effort has to be to listen to the case that's before you and decide it impartially, because that's what our system is about. You know, you could go out in the street and take 2 guns or knives or whatever, or just fists, and the winner prevails.
Absolutely.
But as a society, as in India, you say, well, I've given up that. I don't want to do that. I'll go. Instead of fighting you over it, I'll go to someone who's impartial or fair.
Okay.
And in our case, as in India, you go to a judge. Now, sometimes a judge is the judge of the fact and the law.
Of course.
That's when there's not a jury. When there's a jury, I'm the judge of the law, and the jury is the judge of the facts.
Okay, so then that's an interesting thing that you've brought up. When you say when there is no jury, you decide from the facts.
Right.
As well.
I decide what the facts are.
Facts are. Now, of course, everything is presented to you.
Correct.
At the same time, can a case ever be moved, if you're handling a case, can a case ever be moved from your courtroom to another judge, since you've been already handling the matter and there is no jury?
That would
in
be
that
very unusual.
Okay.
It could happen,
Okay.
but it would be very, very unusual for it to happen.
Okay, usually these kind of things don't happen.
That's correct.
Okay, now if there is a jury to decide, suppose, let me retract, okay? If a jury makes a decision and you feel it's not correct, has that ever happened? Or is there a way for parties to disagree?
I can overturn the jury's verdict.
You can?
I can, in very limited circumstances.
Okay,
But I can.
okay,
I have not.
you have not.
I think the jury system we have is absolutely wonderful. It's
Okay.
terrific.
Okay,
And when I charge them, it's called a charge. At the end of the trial, the judge charges the jury, tells them what the law is, and you say to them as a judge, you listen to the plaintiff and the defendant, and you decide, the jury decides what the facts are.
okay,
The judge, myself in this case, will give you the law. When you decide the facts, you apply the law that I gave you, and your answer to the questions becomes your verdict. That's how we get a verdict.
okay,
And over the 16 years I've presided over trials, criminal and civil, although now only civil, it amazes me how good the jury system is.
okay,
Whenever I get tired and a little discouraged because of working with attorneys sometimes, I have to tell you, working with juries is refreshing.
great,
They're so good.
okay.
They try so hard to get it right. And in my opinion, in the 16 years I'm involved in it, they've gotten it right every time.
They've gotten it. Have you ever found a case where, of course, the defendant might not agree
Yes,
to the
sure.
decision? Of course,
Or the plaintiff.
Or the
Sure.
plaintiff, yes. They might not agree with the decision.
Correct.
Now, of course, that goes then to the appeals court, which then is removed from your court to
That's
another.
correct.
Okay.
In our case, it's the appellate division.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But I have to tell you something about that. I've found that, not that the losing party is going to like your verdict,
Of course.
but if you have given them a fair chance, if you have given them the ability to let them present their case to you, and they think that you've listened to them, that's the key, that you've listened to them.
Exactly.
They'll not agree with your decision, but they'll accept it.
Okay.
And that's a very important function.
Okay. Now, basically, ਸਾਨੂੰ explain ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ ਜੱਜ ਬਕਾਰੀਆ ਕਿ usually ਹਰ ਕੋਰਟ ਆਫ ਲਾਅ ਅੰਦਰ jury system ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਜੇ jury system ਨਾ ਹੋਏ ਜੇ juries present ਨਾ ਹੋਣ jurors present ਨਾ ਹੋਣ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹ facts ਵੀ ਦੇਖਣ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੇਸ ਹੈਗਾ ਕੇਸ ਦੀ details ਕੀ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਨਾਲੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ law aspect ਹੈਗਾ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਧਿਆਨ ਅੰਦਰ ਰੱਖ ਕੇ decision ਦਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ now ਅਗਰ jury ਹੈਗੀ ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਲਾਅ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹ ਜੂਰੀ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਣ ਜੂਰਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਣ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਲਾਅ ਹੈਗਾ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਲਾਅ ਦੇ ਕਾਇਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰਹਿ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ ਲੈਣੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਕਾਫੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ ਦਿਓ ਤੇ ਆਫ ਕੋਰਸ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਹਾਰਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ ਮੰਨੇ ਜਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਜੂਰਰਸ ਦੀ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ ਹੈਗੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਮੰਨੇ ਅਗਰ ਦੈਟਸ ਦ ਕੇਸ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਅਪੈਲੇਟ ਡਿਵੀਜ਼ਨ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਪੀਲਸ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਔਰ ਆਪਣਾ ਕੇਸ ਵਾਪਸ ਖੋਲ ਕੇ ਉੱਥੇ retry ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ now let me ask you another question you said they can take the case to the appeals to the appellate division when they're not happy with the jury's decision
Or mine.
oh it can be yours as well okay so it works both ways
Absolutely.
okay so ਅਗਰ ਜੇ decision ਜਿਹੜੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਅਗਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਤਰਫੋਂ ਹੋਏ ਜਾਂ jurors ਦੀ ਤਰਫੋਂ ਹੋਏ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੋਨੋਂ decision ਅਗਰ happy ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਖੁਸ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਉਸ decision ਤੋਂ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ but keep in mind ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ decision ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਉਹ facts ਔਰ law dono ਧਿਆਨ ਅੰਦਰ ਰੱਖ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈਗੀ now talking about the jury system it's very in this country of course the law the whole court system runs on the jury system
Absolutely.
okay how important is it for an individual to be part of this jury system and the reason I ask you that as an immigrant if someone's coming from another country any culture any country it may be it's the fear of the unknown they don't know what the jury system is. They might have grown up thinking, you know what, going to court is a bad thing. If you're in court, it's for something wrong. So when they get the jury duty letter, automatically it's thrown out or they don't want to be bothered with it. And they don't think it's their duty to do anything with it.